everyone. मेरी आज की मेहमान और इस महीने की आही आइकॉन is somebody who you may not be very familiar with, लेकिन उनका काम और उनकी कहानी आपको बहुत इंस्पायर करेगी. लेबल है उनका ब्लॉक्ड और जैसे नाम से जाहिर हो रहा है, it's all about block print, it's all about craft, about the revival of things that we may be losing in fashion today. She's been designing for 20 years. इंडस वैली की ग्रेजुएट हैं और अगर आपने उनके कपड़े पहने हैं तो आपको अंदाज़ा है कि उनकी एग्जीबिशन जब खुलती है तो उससे 5 मिनट पहले इट्स सोल्ड आउट. आजकल वी वांट टू इंस्पायर वुमेन टू स्टैंड ऑन देयर ओन फीट, टू बी इकोनॉमिकली इंडिपेंडेंट, एंड शी हैज़ बीन वर्किंग विद वुमेन इन रिमोट एरियाज़ फॉर 20 years, एम्पावरिंग देम, गिविंग देम फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी. ख़ास तौर पे आजकल जब फ्लड्स की वजह से बहुत लोग इफ़ेक्टेड हैं तो वो हिस्से भी इंटीरियर सिंध के इफ़ेक्टेड हैं. तो आई एम रियली इंटरेस्टेड टू नो कि उनकी रिहेबिलिटेशन कैसे हो रही है, क्राफ्ट को कैसे रिवाइव किया जा रहा है, क्राफ्ट और फैशन की इंटीग्रेशन कैसे हो रही है. सो लेट्स गो एंड मीट अफशीन उमर. Assalamu alaikum, Afshin. How are you?
I'm very well.
Thank you so much for welcoming us into your home today.
You're most welcome.
There's so much color and so much art and so much craft, and it's always inspiring to talk to you. And you've got so many stories to tell.
Yes, many stories. You might have to stop me when the stories go
I hope so.
overboard.
I hope so. I hope so. Well, let's come to the fashion part first. You're an Indus Valley graduate.
Yes.
With a major in textile?
Textile design.
Textile
yes.
design.
Yes.
Or
There was no fashion design major
then.
at that time. There was just weaving and textile design.
And textile design.
And print design.
Right.
So under textile design department, there was weaving and print design.
Right.
So I opted for print design because weaving was not my forte at all.
Huh.
It was fun to do,
Huh.
as a few sessions and workshops here and there.
Right.
But I was always more interested in print and color and.
Right. And after you graduated, you started your
So I
label.
graduated in 1998 and I was offered a job to come back and teach.
Right.
So I went back in January to teach. I taught for 20 years.
Wow.
Started with teaching, the second year and third year. And the last, I think, 10 years, I was teaching the thesis. Now then I stopped recently, Amna. It's been like, I think, 3-4 years that I stopped completely. My work needed more attention. My kids needed a little more attention. They were at that age.
Right.
And once the kids were born, I always had a pact with them. And that time it was easier to make these pacts because Indus was smaller. It was more like a family. Everybody knew everybody. So I would just go during the time, 8 o'clock, and I would go to pick my kids up and then come back. So it was always half a day.
Right, right.
Right now, then I've been always being invited to come as a juror for the thesis show. Every second, third year I'm invited. I'm on the board of studies right now for the textile department.
उस पे आएंगे कि काम कैसा हो रहा है in the academic department, and I'd love to hear about that. But I want to hear about Blocked, the label. आपने 20 साल पहले शुरू किया, and when I moved to Karachi and I heard that there is this lady who does exhibitions, and you have to be there at 11 on the dot, otherwise you won't get anything.
No,
और मैंने कहा ये कैसे हो सकता है?
That's just a myth. That's just a myth.
No, it wasn't. 11 बजे नहीं, 11:45 ही सब कुछ खत्म हो गया होता था. And it was like आप जाएं तो चीजें खत्म. But you had such a successful formula. You would do these regular exhibitions.
Every quarter.
Every quarter you do an exhibition and you'd sell your stock and you'd play
and
with.
You start fresh again.
And you start fresh again.
Yeah. With a fresh mind, you close that chapter and you start fresh again.
But what was even more interesting was कि एक तो ये बड़ा अच्छा एक formula था कि आपके overheads भी कम हैं.
Yeah.
You're not sitting on stock.
Yeah.
आपको payments की इंतजार नहीं है कि जी आप कहीं stop करेंगे payment आएगी सारा.
Yeah.
And for a running household, for women, वो cash flow ज़रूरी है,
right? Of course.
मगर the craft element was so interesting कि you were working with women in interior Sindh, और मेरे लिए मेरा एक buzzword है economic empowerment. मुझे बड़ा होता है कि औरतें समझती नहीं हैं कि उनको अपनी कमाई और खुद से होना, financial independence कितना ज़रूरी है.
It's very essential, and it's getting more and more crucial that I think every woman should really be doing something.
Yeah.
Whatever their strength, कोई हुनर किसी में हो, आप उसको utilize करें.
तो ये
it is very essential. So I'll tell you, it started when at Indus we used to have this course called Design Intervention.
ठीक है.
Which really kind of, I'm from this, I'm a Sindhi, from the interior. We have our roots there.
Right.
We continuously, constantly keep going back and forth.
Right.
So we're not like, कि शहर आ गए और भूल गए.
भूल गए.
We still have a home there. We have 2 homes there. Our kids go there. So it's constant interaction. So with this design intervention, the crux of it really was that you work with identify a craft, identify a craftsperson.
Right.
And as a designer, with your design training that you get, you intervene in the design.
बिल्कुल.
Now that doesn't mean that you go to कोई भी क्राफ्ट हो, आप समझे ब्लॉक प्रिंटिंग का मैं बताती हूँ कि आप एक यहाँ पे जैसे ब्लॉक प्रिंटर है, आप उसके पास जाएं और उसे कहें कि नहीं ये आपने जो बरसों से आप सदियों से करते आए हैं, आपके एंसेस्टर्स करते आए हैं, वो ना करें आप ये करें जो मैं आपको बता रही हूँ. That's not the point. The point is that you go with them, you see what they know, what their skill is, identify their skill and their strength and weakness, and then you design for them, making life easier for them, not difficult.
Right.
So now whether it's weaving or whether it's like, you know, a lot of relief work that I do, I, as a design intervention person, you don't change the skill set of the person. You're not teaching them anything new.
और ये कितने सालों से ये कर रहे हैं क्राफ्ट वहाँ पे?
ये तो मतलब it's, and you see, what I am using in Blocked is all very basic stuff. Whether it's the Rilly applique, whether it's the Kingri that comes for it, whether it's a, you know, just the Kacha Tanka, most women, most girls know how to do that. सबको आता है.
अब सिर्फ औरतें काम करती हैं वहाँ पे?
I only have women.
अच्छा तो मुझे
my printers, my block printers are men,
right?
Because they're Karachi based,
right?
But all the women are all men.
So tell me about the setup. मतलब कितनी औरतें हैं? Where do they belong
so,
to? कौन सा
when
area
I started initially and started gradually, you know, initially exhibitions जैसे आप कह रही हैं ना कि 11 बजे शुरू. I don't like to make too many of the same thing. I have this issue even when people say ये वाला आपने पहना हुआ है, ये आपके पास और क्यों नहीं है? भाई 10 बनाए थे खत्म हो गए. Look for something else or come again. You know, I don't want to mass produce because everybody, I mean, it's not, I mean, I personally don't think it's the right thing. But even now, I mean, having said that, I am increasing quantities because these women get to my throat really also. You know, they get really upset. But so the setup really initially was, I had one printer when I started. At a, you know, place that I had rented out in Karachi, close by. उसको मैंने पहले जब शुरू किया था तो literally 3 months I would go every day, sit and do my work there, my designing there, and he knows his work, so he would print it.
He would print.
तरीका सिखा दिया कि रंग पक्का हो, all of that. I mean, they know their skill. You don't have to teach them कि आप इसको यूं करें. You intervene in the design. You tell them कि ये scale का अगर ये border है तो इसके साथ ये बूटी बेहतर लगेगी, and they learn. That's the learning you give them.
Right.
You don't tell them कि ये आप गलत कर रहे हैं, and they feel happy also. And once in a while you tell them ये कपड़ा है, वसीम भाई आपको जो करना है आप करें. So they feel happy also. You have to give them that kind of importance also. Okay, you know, this is your hunar, आप करें. And over so many years now they've learned. So now, even now, it's a very small setup. Amna, I have 3 printers who work, and it's the payment is like per piece still. It works better for them. So when an exhibition is nearer, they make much more than otherwise, but a minimum of 5 pieces per day, one guy does.
One guy does. That's really good.
Yeah. So I mean, they are happy. Mera kaam nikal jata hai. I have 3 months from exhibition to exhibition. So I get enough work. Towards the last month or the last 15-20 days, there's more work because I realize that, okay, I better make some more stock. So unka bhi kaam badh jata hai. They happily do it. Sometimes they even stay over because they're happy.
They have to finish work.
Now, as far as the women are concerned, that happened actually when Shamoon had started Khadi, and Khadi was all new. He's also a graduate, so we knew him. He was our senior, 3 years our senior. So Khadi was into all of this, a lot of this craft. I mean, he started with that really. So he saw my, you know, the dulais that I do, which are block printed fronts, and then they are hand stitched. So he said, "Ke ye banao." So for many years, quite a few years, we did that for him. You know, he would say, 50 chahiye, whatever.
It
was very good.
2 of those.
You have those, so they were selling, they were doing very well. Price points obviously over time increased. But you see, with हाथ का काम आमना होता ये है कि अगर आप हर हाथ का एक फर्क strength होती है. आप सुई खींचेंगी, आप जरा ज्यादा खींच सकती हैं. मैं खींचूंगी, हो सकता है उससे भी ज्यादा करूं. वो खींचेंगे तो हो सकता है उससे कम. So the sizes of the dulais, you know, where he wanted a single and a queen, it doesn't work that way with hand.
It couldn't be standardized.
It could not be standardized. And that was getting problematic. Also, my work had kind of increased more also, so that was stopped. After that, then Shamoon would give me kurtas, just khada hua kurtas. 500 kurte aate the.
Okay.
500, because uski to production, I mean, the khadi production is obviously such a, I mean, it's a big scale thing. Only for the kanthas and the stitches.
Right.
So at that time, I think I had the most women. I had about 200 women.
Okay.
200 women who we had kind of spotted. So there was one woman, again, because we go there, we know all these women
What
also.
area are we talking about?
This is Sangar. This is main शहर Sangar.
Sangar.
This was Sangar.
जो कि शहर है.
जो कि शहर है, district Sangar. It's a big शहर. So we had, I had like 2 women who we know by now, Zarina Masi and एक और होती थी. We would send gutteries. यहाँ से आता था खाड़ी से stock बोरियां भर के. We would sit and make gutteries, 10 for each household.
Okay.
And she would tell me कि बाजी ये है, ये है, ये है, ये और भी मैंने लोग extend the, extend the diameter of the, extend the loop a little more. Let more people get work. तो फिर एक घर में ये होता था कि किसी की मतलब वो जो the women, माँ हो गई, बेटियां हो गई, बहू हो गई, पोतियां हो गई, नवासियां हो गई, they would spread it out. So it became very mechanical and the system was just like, it was just running
and
so
actually,
easily.
How much were these women earning? एक household कितना हो रहा था?
Amna, I'll just tell you that they were so happy with this khadi stuff that was happening because it's also easy work for them. Because, after all, the ghar ka kaam, they're not going out of the house, which the men have a problem with.
Yeah.
The gutteries are coming to their doorstep. Then there was another manager we hired there, my father's manager. He would go, give it at the door. Unke baap, he wouldn't even meet the women, obviously, and say कि ये 10 दिन में मुझे चाहिए. So it was pick and drop. Everything got brought back to the main house. Then it was sent to us. Our car goes, my father and brothers go to the village every week. So it was a very easy running system.
But you're telling me how much they were earning.
Okay, so they were earning enough, let me tell you, that उनके एक जैसे शादियों पे जहेज देने का एक सेट देना होता है, वो भी हो गए. वो लड़की जो खुद बना रही है 10-10 कुर्ते, 20-20 कुर्ते, 50 कुर्ते एक महीने में, she was capable of getting her, her bed जो डाउरी में इनके होते हैं typical bed का एक सेट हो गया, towels का एक सेट हो गया, एक छोटा सा इनका जो भी whatever little they do, they were very happy.
They were very happy.
They were very happy.
Yeah.
Then that also stopped, Amna, again because my work also increased. So then I was like, I have to give them my work.
Yeah.
Our issue, I think, in Sindh also is that men are very lazy. Generally, I've noticed that they don't want to work just a little bit harder to earn a little bit more.
Then they need to. And when they have money, then they want to stop.
Yeah, and then now with the women working, तो फिर वैसे ही उनका मतलब आ रहा है, एक system चल रहा है.
Yeah.
So then my work then started, Amna, with the design intervention, all that I learned. Thanks to Mrs. Ismail, Janaz Ismail, who was founder member, everybody knows her.
So degree कहाँ आई?
Yeah, I really, it's like a personal thing. कि अगर आपको इस तरह की चीज़ करनी है, जो आप सीखते हैं ना college में, वो आपको बहुत ज़्यादा आपको एक my mind opened. I was from this region.
Yeah.
I saw release all the time. I saw applique pieces. There's a Quran cover that I have, which has been with me forever. It was given to me during my wedding. We've seen that there, my great grandmother made that. We've been exposed to these textiles, and we are so blessed, Namna, that we have such remarkable textiles. We are so rich with our craft and culture. तो ये सारी चीजें तो दिखी नहीं थी ना सारी. But that was it. देख ली, हाँ बहुत अच्छी है, and that's it. So with college, with Indus, with my degree, I really learned to appreciate it at another level. To really say, oh my God, this, look at what they're capable of. And they're sitting now, and it's sad, they're doing these polyester things, and they're doing these सुतली की गंदे प्लास्टिक के धागे. हुनर तो वही है ना, उनको आता है. लेकिन क्योंकि अब हर चीज एक इंडस्ट्रियल हो गई है, एक्सेस कम है उनको नहीं मिलता प्योर कॉटन, कलर उनको कोई नहीं बता रहा. You just need to guide a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's when I realized, and Mrs. Smile really used to tell us that if you can't do this for your people, it's just sad.
Yeah.
We had books, Colors of the Indus was a Bible for us.
Yeah.
So many books, and you learn, and you basically learn to see what is good and what is not so good.
Yeah.
एक appreciation हो जाती है crafts person के लिए, which I think really was my make or break point.
Oh, hello. Well, he or she?
He's
yes. Quite.
Yeah. He's 8 years old.
He's 8 years old.
He's 8 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's very people friendly. When he sees activity, he comes there and he'll sit. So when I'm working there, that's my working station. I'll open my sketch bag and he'll come and sit right on top of it.
Hi. Oh, he doesn't want to be touched though.
So, it really makes a difference.
It does.
I think बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. वैसे भी आप
Also
कर
gives
लेंगे.
you a vision and streamlines
Yeah,
your
yeah.
vision.
It makes you recognize so many things.
Yeah.
That what you can really do. और बहुत जरूरी है.
Yeah.
And हम नहीं करेंगे तो और कौन करेगा? You know, who will do it?
But
We've
that's a
gotten
very
an education. We are privileged. We've gotten that education.
That's a very responsible way to think because
I really think that.
Yeah.
So then Amna, अभी ये होता है कि we have applique collections. We have our Kingri, which we are very.
Which
I'm wearing this right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at the skill. Look at the scale. This is not easy to do.
No,
it's very laborious.
Yeah.
And it's. I mean, I still look at things that come from the village sometimes, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
It still fascinates me.
What all crafts are you indulging in right now?
So we're doing applique. Block print to ho raha hai. Block print is your, like, you know, the शहर wala crafts people I'm using and you know utilizing them. But गांव में यार जो नजर आता है, even like from our tassel to the, you know, this phundna. It's not brought from Karachi. It's not machine made. It's handmade.
Handmade.
तो जिस बच्ची को ये आता है करने, तो उसको क्या बेचना है? धागा बेचना है, थोड़ी सी गोल्डन डोरी बेचनी है. उनको आता है ये. And you know, 200, 400, I need them, so I utilize them.
Yeah.
And then what I do is my process for design also, Amna has now, in fact, it's evolved also because वो एक responsibility भी ज़रा ज़्यादा हो गई है, I think with age.
Of course.
That I feel that when I sit to design the next collection, I think, अच्छा, how can I utilize what they can do more? ताकि उनका भी फायदा हो ना.
Right. Right.
तो अब जैसे you know, new things, and it's again nothing new that I'm teaching them. They know all of this. I'm just putting a white with a white. You know, color. You work with color. You work with scale. You work with the, you know, the design, the layout. That's all you're doing.
Composition,
really.
pattern, all of that.
You're just doing that.
When I mean writing on fashion, हमेशा हम ये लिखते थे कि connection नहीं है. हमारे पास इतना craft है. We're so craft heavy.
वो एक अफवाह होता था हमना.
हाँ.
With such like sad things. I mean, I was just traveled to London. I was sitting at the airport, and that little shop that they have when you're sitting in the waiting lounge.
Yes. It's so obsolete.
It's like you should not have that there.
No, you should not have that.
You should not have
that.
But
we have this disconnect between, you know, craft and design, fashion design, yeah, future forward fashion.
I think, and that is a responsibility. And you know, we've taught. I mean, even been a very because I used to take the thesis.
Yeah.
You know, our students have done such wonderful things with design intervention. We had a young girl who worked with a charpai wala, who's under the bridge, you know, Kala Pul ke niche, you know, so you'll see on the left there are these charpais. And it was remarkable. Skill uska, design iski, contemporary. But hota ye hai humna ke, aur wahi hamara ek, which is a sad bit, which Mrs. Ismail also keeps telling us, कि, you know, when the kids get their distinctions and get their degrees, कि बेटा ये करते रहना ये तुम लोग की responsibility
Commercialism
है. वो बंदा जिससे तुमने ये पूरे thesis में 6 महीने साल काम करवाया है, उसको काम देते रहना. And it's very easy to do, even if you don't want to do it on a bigger scale. You keep giving them enough work. So that's
वक्त निकालें उसके लिए.
Just a little, and it doesn't take much because you've already trained them for 6 months for your thesis.
You never really went commercial in a big way कि दुकानें खोल लो या you know अपना.
No, I'm not with me. It's always been that उतना करो जितना अच्छे से manage करो. I mean, I'm literally, you know, my mother used to help me a lot. She was running half the, you know, the kapda buying and all of that was her thing. Then she fell a little unwell, so then I was taking over, and I'm pretty much a one-man show. I like to do things myself. I feel that if I hire A, B, and C to, you know, do whatever, I can do it faster and with my own capability a little bit better and faster. So, बढ़ाना नहीं है, you know, I have kids and my priority has always been my kids. They were still, I mean, when my husband passed away, they were very young. I had started this in 2002 when he was still alive, and it went on. And, you know, I started choti. I remember my first exhibition had 23-piece jodas only. 23-piece jodas. And I was so happy and so proud, and obviously they all sold 20 jode to aaram se. And you know, it grew. It's taken that long to now, ye jo kehte hain na, ladies get upset कि आप इतने कम बनाती हैं. You know, and I also feel that, you know, I'd like to do whatever I can manage easily. From my house to my kids to my work.
To your work.
At no point has it been that I will not give work to my printers or work is not sent to the village for the women. Because that's my responsibility. कि उनको एक constant कुछ ना कुछ जाता रहे. Even if I'm not using it then and there, कुछ जा रहा है उनके पास ताकि उनका, you know, that they don't.
एक livelihood sustain रहे उनका.
And that's the whole idea.
Afshin, was it more of a passion for the craft and design, a sense of responsibility? वो तो थी. But was it also the need to be financially independent, especially after your husband passed away?
Of course it was. You see, it was something I'd been doing this, I think, 9 years before he passed away. And it had kind of gotten into the momentum. वो एक वो था ना train पटरी पे चल गई है.
And I'm really sorry, I don't want to cut you, and I don't obviously want to go into a personal tragedy too much. But I also want you to share your story a bit so that women who do go through personal tragedy, how do you overcome it? And does one sit down and say, "Nay, let the elements take over," or do you need to get out of it? And the decisions you made were very inspiring. And the fact that he was 36,
yes,
and you were
36 also,
same age, and you had 2 young kids,
yes.
And the first thing was moving back into your parents' house or not?
So we were in our own house. Obviously, with parents in a nice society, Amna, it becomes ke, ladki hai, bacche chote hain, akeli kaise rahegi? So that's not happening. So after he died, I did move into my mom's house, and obviously I was given the thing ke, you come and stay with us. We have room upstairs. We will make your separate entrance, all of that. But Amna, even at that time, I just felt that I had to give my children a home that they could call their own home. Obviously, Nana's home is Nana's home, and family is wonderful. I've been blessed also because I've had very supporting in-laws, few but very good friends, and then obviously my immediate family also. So I was given the thing, you come and stay with us, and I didn't even take long really.
Safety hai.
हाँ, because safety है, हालात भी तो देखे ना, मतलब किस तरह के हो जाते हैं, होते हैं. It's not easy for parents also because they come from another generational situation also. So I decided that I would get my own house near to my parents' house. So I'm right across the road from them. And I had the finances, and my father obviously helped me. And I bought my house, made the house. So within the year my house was made. I stayed that year at my parents' house. And that's it. And as far as dealing with the trauma, आपने बस अल्लाह हिम्मत दे देता है और हिम्मत खुद भी करनी पड़ती है. हर चीज़ आप अल्लाह पे नहीं डाल सकते कि ओहो अल्लाह ने किया है अल्लाह देगा. You have to kind of get up and take the reins in your own hand.
Shake yourself up.
Yeah, I say, and I had 2 little kids, and we were a close-knit, very close family. Their father used to drop them to school daily since they were going to school. So after a week after he passed, I dropped my kids to school. I took them. I said they have to get back to being as normal as possible, and I think Amna, that helped me because my focus was them. And that kind of helped me, so it kind of worked in that way.
You're very strong, Afshin, when you're going through.
Amna, but what is people say that to me, कि, oh, you were so. And I was like, I had 2 options. मुंह पकड़ के एक कोने में बैठ जाओ.
Break down
कर लो, कमरे में बंद कर लो अपने आप को 6 महीने 7 महीने, however long it takes. You're looking at your children. If you do that, what are those little children going to do? So I took it upon myself as that really. And then over years you deal with moments and things, and it happens.
And you never remarried?
No.
That's also quite an inspiration because parents का भी pressure होता है कि कर लो जवान हो अभी तो पूरी जिंदगी पड़ी है आगे.
No, my parents kind of, I mean, I haven't spoken to them about this. Neither have they had the guts to up front come and tell me. But they know where I'm coming from. I don't want to get married again. My kids are old enough now. My son is 18. My daughter's 14. And एक contentness है. अल्लाह मियाँ ने हिम्मत दी है, बस अल्लाह मियाँ सेहत दे और चलाता रहे.
बिल्कुल.
यहाँ तक लाया है, आगे भी ले जाएगा. That's what my thinking is really.
और बुरी companionship से बेहतर है कि ना हो.
Why get into, there's problems. I have friends. You get remarried. There are issues. Kids don't get along. Kids get disturbed. My life has been about them, and it'll stay about them for as long as they need me.
And that will be forever. Your life is also about your craft and the women that you help. मुझे बताएं कि सांगढ़ में और उस एरिया में फ्लड्स का क्या असर हुआ है?
आमना, इस दफ़ा तो ये हुआ है कि जो 2010 में फ्लड्स थे ना, तो certain bits and pieces of Sindh were affected. This time, all of Sindh is affected. So there is not one area in Sindh that is not affected.
Are you able to access the?
Yes. Sangarh is accessible completely. I mean, initially, जब बहुत था तो roads था, but accessible. So our lands really and our farm, our house really is. It's not in the main city. We have one house there, but the main area is really where we've worked and tried to help those people out, because बड़े शहरों में तो aid आ जाती है, because बड़ा शहर है, गवर्नमेंट ने भी भेज दिया, हालांकि अभी तक भेजी नहीं है. A lot of people know of the area, so known areas get help.
Right.
So our focus, my siblings and my focus was really to help those people who are basically the nomadic tribes who come हार्वेस्ट के टाइम पे. और इस वक्त क्योंकि कॉटन की पीक हार्वेस्ट का टाइम था, तो ये आते हैं, ये हिंदूज होते हैं, कुछ सिंधी होते हैं, भील होते हैं. दे सेट अप देयर होम्स, अपनी झुग्गियां बना लेते हैं. दे स्टे देयर टिल द crop is harvested. They make their money, which 3 months, 4 months stay hota hai. Then they take their belongings and they move to another area where they find work.
How romantic though it sounds.
Yeah. It sounds romantic, and it's beautiful to see, really. And the way I still get fascinated every time we drive, and I've been driving to the village for years. The thatched conical structures that they construct. I mean, वो हुनर नहीं है तो और क्या है?
बिल्कुल.
We sit and pay for canopy बना दें और gazebo बना दें. आप उनका काम देखें. Why not get someone from there, put them up in your house for like a month, and they can construct this really,
absolutely.
I don't know, our society is each to their own also, I guess.
But
each to their
it
own.
must be devastating now to
तो
see
अब ये
how
हुआ
they
है
suffered.
कि जो ये एरियाज थे आमना, ये तो मतलब जमीनों पे ही रहते हैं, उनको जगह मिलती है, जो जिनका ये काम करते हैं, जिन पे ये इनको हायर करते हैं, उनको ज़मीन देते हैं, दे सेट अप देयर लिटिल सेटलमेंट देयर. तो वो तो पूरी फ्लडेड, द हाउसेस ब्रोक डाउन, इतना पानी स्टिल स्टैंडिंग देयर. So they whoever could, और पानी सूखने में भी तो टाइम लगता है ना. There was no way for the water to get out.
Drainage नहीं थी.
Drainage नहीं है. We tried to pump for like 20 days. We were pumping day and night. But वो because direction भी होता है पानी के चलने का, तो वो पानी जो है वो नहीं जा रहा था. So a lot of them have moved to the higher ground, which is your main roads, because there are good roads there. So whatever we did, and again, that's the good thing about our society is that we are very helpful people. We contribute. Our philanthropy aspect is really good. I think we are above anybody else, really. So we just sent out a little bit, middle videos and stuff, and we got a lot of aid, I must say. We got aid from Philip Morris. We had a friend who works there.
Okay.
So these jaane wala tha. They knew that this would come to us, and the money would go to the right places. So they wanted to send their team. We were open to that, obviously. We kept them in the house. They went. Their 4 teams came very systematically. Shanakti card leke, they were helped out. Then there's another NGO here by the name of Robin Hood.
Okay.
They also again knew my brother and my sister-in-law. They wanted to contribute because they again knew कि वही वाली बात है ना, जो लोग देते हैं they want to see कि जा कहाँ रहा है पैसा.
बिल्कुल.
ठीक है ना, तो उनके भी लोग गए, उनके ट्रक्स गए. So पिछले every weekend यही होता है कि my brother's sitting there or my bhabhi's there or I've been twice also. We go there. एक जरा होती है sense कि भाई आपने पैसे दिए हैं मुझे, फलाने ने दिए हैं, मेरी जिम्मेदारी है कि मैं
सही जगह पे पहुंचे.
I wouldn't even want to give it to my manager there in case you never know. So it's मतलब किसी का इमानत है तो आप दें. So a lot of ration bags, mosquito nets. We are trying to get in touch with somebody who maybe owns off because mosquito repellent is really essential. Ab ho ye raha hai, snake bites. We just my guard outside lost his sister 3 days ago because wo pani aata hai, zameen gili hoti hai. Snakes. So she died of snake bite. So that's another issue. That is, then we have mobile. We already have on our land. We have a free clinic. We have 2 doctors there, private doctors who are on a salary, and you get free medicine. We have a hepatitis campaign that's been running for 5 years.
Right.
Because hepatitis is prevalent in Sindh. A lot of
government क्या कर रही है?
Government से हम पूछते ही नहीं हैं. हम जो करना है आप खुद कर लें.
मतलब लोग कहते हैं कि जो लैंड ओनर्स हैं वो भी नहीं कुछ करते.
हम कर रहे हैं. वही वाली बात है. I think आमना education. We've been very grounded. We're lucky to have very grounded parents who've given us a very grounded upbringing. We can just go there and hang out and come back, but we go. Our kids, in fact, now which is another generation completely after us, is also very aware. They're collecting funds too. They're posting. They're sharing. Because also, I think also एक connectivity बनती है आमना because our kids still go there. होता ये है कि जिनके land owners होते हैं ना, उनके family तो जाती नहीं
जाते.
वो आजकल तो land owners भी कम ही जाते हैं. We have a home there. We call that our home. Every December, our kids take 20, 30 friends, their families.
Nice.
So it's like home for us, really.
Right.
It's not like, once in a while we'll go
Yeah.
there and it's like a picnic and we come back.
हाँ.
So I think उस association से भी बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. Because आप देखते हैं और ज़्यादा है ना. So we already had all these things running, but अच्छा सांगड़ शहर में जो है why women are they spread and now they spread like I give work to the people on the lands also. उधर होता ही है हमना कि because they're in mud houses and things ना risk होता है कि कपड़ा गंदा हो जाए उस तरह की चीज़. So you have to be careful about that. So उनको फिर ये इस तरह की चीज़ें छोटी-छोटी which is manageable बनाया थैली में डाला वापस आ गया.
Right.
कुछ देते हैं और करते हैं.
तो ये फ्लड्स के थ्रू अभी काम हो रहा है?
अभी सांगड़ में जरा स्लो हो गया था. एक तो कोविड में वैसे ही एवरीथिंग वाज काइंड ऑफ इन अ बैड वे, बट वर्क इज कंटिन्यूइंग. इट हैज स्लोड डाउन बिकॉज आई थिंक दे हैव देयर ओन इश्यूज बिकॉज अभी भी उनके घरों के आगे उनके पक्के घर हैं, घरों के आगे पानी है. कोई बीमार हो रहा है, किसी को डायरिया हो रहा है, किसी को कुछ हो रहा है, किसी को मलेरिया. सो दैट हैपेंस ऑन एंड ऑफ, बट दे स्टिल वांट वर्क बिकॉज आई मीन दिस इज वेयर दे आर मेकिंग some kind of money and everybody needs it.
Absolutely. घर तो चलना है.
हाँ, घर तो चलाना है और ये आसान है उनके लिए क्योंकि घर बैठे बैठे in the comfort of their own homes, which is again something that you have to think of. कि you can't call them. In fact, my father had told me that we have a place there कि वहाँ पे warehouse की तरह है. Call the women there ताकि सफाई से काम हो. I said no.
नहीं, वो नहीं निकलेंगे.
Let them do because husbands have an issue, brothers have an issue, fathers have an issue.
कमा के भी दे रही हैं.
अच्छा फिर घर के काम होते हैं, छोटे बच्चे होते हैं, उनको घर में करने दें.
हाँ.
सिर्फ ये होता है मेरा कि सफाई से काम देना.
हाँ.
ठीक है, कपड़े पे धब्बा नहीं लगना चाहिए. ऑब्वियसली इंसान है, आमना वी मेक मिस्टेक्स, कभी कभी हो जाता है. देन वी फिगर आउट वेज टू यूज दैट पीस व्हिच हैज बीन स्पॉइल्ड ड्यू टू अ धब्बा और समथिंग. We utilize it. I mean, that's our job as a designer. We are the ones who've learned, ना?
बिल्कुल.
तो आप utilize करें to the best of your ability.
So for people who want to buy Blocked, now the way is to check out your Instagram page.
So Amna, I was planning to have an exhibition. September would have been my 3rd month.
Right.
My exhibition was due. Everything was ready. But I felt that it was not the right time to be having an exhibition as such with so much calamity, and you'd rather utilize that kind of thing there. It hasn't affected the livelihood of my women working there or my printers. Work is going on. So I postpone that and I'll have my next exhibition in November. In the meantime, however, to keep, again, I have to run my house also. I need the money to pay the printers, to buy the color, to buy the kapda. We do this book and collect situation, which is a very small scale thing. New pieces come, I photograph it. There's no we here. Photograph it, put it on Instagram. There is no interaction because COVID में ये actually मैंने शुरू किया. Because वो touch and feel no contact. You see it, you like it, you have to there's no advance taken because I keep telling people that please just confirm that you will pick tomorrow. And most of the time, I think 99% it's all good. Sometimes some clients forget to answer their calls or not come and collect. So, which is fine, I guess, to each to their own again. तो ये अभी भी book and collect situation चल रही है. I'll keep it on for this month at least and then start accumulating more things for the November exhibition. Should be a big one because I won't have one in December. And
well,
December
actually, I'm very lucky because I get a preview for every exhibition. And I get to choose my favorite pieces. I'm also looking forward to your first collection for your fashion show. Which you were ready for before
completely
COVID
ready. And it had taken a lot of people to kind of whip me into saying yes to that. I like to do things I don't like to be out there. I'm quite an introvert, so पीछे पीछे आराम से चुपचाप से काम करते रहो sort of thing, to which I get a lot of slack also. So finally I said yes, but वही बात है, अल्लाह की कोई बेहतरी है कि वो.
But I think when it comes to fashion, this is our USP. Our craft is our USP. We're not going to be selling mini skirts and 3-piece suits.
And when I started block printing, Amna, I was always very kind of prone to going towards buying block prints as a young girl. Also, ईद का एक जोड़ा होता था ये वो Parahan, Koyal. In fact, my Mangni joda I was remembering today was Noorjahan. Yeah, simple silk block print I'd gone and picked. Nasra Umar, Parahan. I mean, she was, and Faiza Sami, who does. I mean, they are like veterans.
Absolutely.
तो मुझे ये होता था कि यार मैं फर्क क्या करूँगी? What will I do? But then I said, you know what? They are brilliant. I mean, they are masters, really. All of these people. We've learned so much from them. They have that traditional, the florals and all of that. I wanted to kind of bring a little bit of a fun tweak to the whole thing, to kind of make it a little bit more attractive to the younger generation.
No, it became accessible. It became
to
affordable.
the younger generation.
No, also affordable.
हाँ, क्योंकि मुझे ये था कि ये फूल पत्ते is all. I mean, I still wear them. You wear them.
Contemporized it.
So I got in the polka dots. I got in teacups. I
got in the little fish.
Yeah, the fish. So, but अभी ये होता है कि a lot of people don't wear figurative also.
Yeah.
So now you have to kind of balance
it out.
Balance it out. There's 50% of that, and there's 50% of that. If I had my way, I would not do florals at all. But you have to.
You have to balance.
You have to cater to everybody's needs and likes and tastes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Actually, it was great talking to you. I hope people are inspired. I hope women are inspired. The entire purpose behind this channel, it's a new channel, is that I want to inspire women, and some of them have shackles. They're stuck in preconceived stereotypes के इसके बाद ये नहीं कर सकते, economically empowered नहीं कर सकते, काम नहीं कर सकते, बच्चे पालना और काम करना साथ साथ नहीं कर सकते, but कर सकती हैं औरतें.
कर सकती हैं. Ramna, and I really think we have our textile industry is the biggest industry that we have in Pakistan.
Absolutely.
I think if everybody in that sector, just a small little area is like Khadi does.
Absolutely.
Just kind of work just towards that. It'll be enough.
Enough. And also anybody with even a little bit of privilege has a responsibility.
I really think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So वही बात है कि you can't begrudge people to have privilege, but at least be responsible about it.
We have the best textiles. Weaving, our case, our ajrak, our bandhani. Bandhani को क्या हुआ यार? It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. I mean, those poor people then we say कि नहीं अभी तो इतनी गंदी बन रही है और सिल्क पे नहीं बन रही है और वो गंदे जॉर्जेट क्यों बन रही है भाई? क्योंकि वो नहीं अफोर्ड कर सकते ना सिल्क. आप कर सकते हैं. आप उनको दें. आप अपना रखें profit. आप उनको and these next generations are not working. Nobody wants to do it because they see that it's laborious work. It's not easy. If they don't get the returns, then the next generation is very smart. They don't want to waste their time.
No.
They'd rather go and open up a mobile phone ki dukaan or a SIM ki dukaan. It's really sad.
Yeah. So, guys, sense of responsibility is really important.
Yeah.
And I hope people are inspired.
I hope so too. It was lovely talking to you.
And thank you so much.